Welcome to another tutorial of the super simple Axex Dental software. And today we're going to be discussing more in depth some of the sections of the patient chart. Of course, you can access a patient chart by either pressing the chart right here, and it will take you to the last patient that you saw. You can click right here to see the most recent patients that you have seen. You may also search for a particular patient. In this case, let's look for Miss Selma. And you can always access it as well from the patient's appointment by clicking right here. The first section in that patient chart that you will be presented with is the personal information section, and what we're going to do is it's pretty self-explanatory, but we will look through some of the few options that you have available right here, including name, last name, etc. Now, some of this information is already pre-filled out if you have been using the patient registration form. The patient will have filled out most of this information right here, but every now and then you may have to change it, such as change of name or some information that the patient did not enter themselves. Let's give him a different birth date over here. As you can see, Ricardo Montalvan was an old man by the time that he died, but he wasn't that old. Let's give a new birth date to this person, and it works the best to do it through here. So let's say April. I think they were a little bit older than my own parents, so let's make it in the 1940s, his birth date. And here we have a birth date, and if we're to refresh the page or we were to browse somewhere else, it will show us the age of Ricardo Montalvan if he was alive at this time. Gender, self-explanatory. Some people may ask, why transgender? Well, some people may present themselves as a different gender, and yet if we don't know that, that could affect patient care, for example. So it's important to know that. Marital status, once again, you can modify that over here. If you select married, you will notice that it will split and give you additional information. The same thing with child, it will give you where to enter additional information for that patient. Once again, knowing that if that's the case, they hopefully will have filled out this information during the patient registration area. This race information does not have to be filled out. It's more for the purpose of keeping track of some information that the government may require if your practice happens to take some kind of government health insurance. So it doesn't have to be filled out, but it's there in case that you need it. A few languages for there to select. Social Security information, once again, not required. My wife, for example, sees some patients that don't necessarily have a Social Security number, but it's there available. The provider can be selected right here, the main provider, and that's the provider that's going to appear in every page. And if this person was a student, you can select from right here. If you select it, it will allow you to enter the school where they are attending. Additional contact information is entered right here. Let's give this a fictitious information. I actually remember what the zip code for that is. Information as far as the telephone number is concerned, it will go right here, and you may select which one of the telephone numbers is the one that that particular patient wants. Hopefully they will have selected whether a message can be left or not, but it will give you all that information right here. And this is a quick overview of the personal information tab within the patient chart in Axex Dental.